Well, it is the grimmest day ever, and it's so cold, and I forgot my probably most important thing, which is a hot water bottle, so my feet are just freezing. 2 hour drive north, or 2 or 3 hour drive north from here, looking at another Colin Archer. I feel like this one might be in better condition. It's advertised for 27,500. Right, so I'm back into voiceover mode because I wasn't given permission to film and make a vlog, but I was to take some photos. So this Colin Archer took me by surprise massively. It was in such good condition, almost rust free. Obviously that's not really possible with a steel boat, but it was in such great condition. Now it does have like two major problems, which I'll get to in a bit, but you look at it, so that's in the bilge and there's no rust at all. It was treated with this black epoxy back in the day in I think 1985, but here's the first problem. Even though it's really well fitted out, the kitchen, that's the V-berth, that's where the V-berth should be, and there's a big kitchen there, and obviously you'll see the layout overall is that it's not set up for really having too many people on board, but there are of course ways you can get around that. But yeah, it's really well fitted out, this boat, so well looked after. From what I gathered, it's already, apart from the one major problem, to just be put back together and be sailed away. And the hull on this was just absolutely amazing. So these are the lovely guys that showed me the boat on behalf of the owner. Yeah, they were super enthusiastic, and yeah, so you can see the kitchen there in the background, and you have the saloon layout, which is all good, absolutely no problems with that. And then you see this door over here, that's where the heads are, and there are the heads, which need a little bit of work, but still pretty good. And yeah, it's quite a basic layout, but the wood has, I don't know if it's been recently varnished, but it's been really well looked after. And yeah, here we are in the cockpit, and you'll see the steel on this boat is just immense, and it really does not need any work at all. And yeah, you have a bit of a dodgy compass there, but there's another one of those on board. The masts aren't up. This is the aft cabin door, and yeah, just the woodwork, and it's really simple. So this is the aft cabin, okay, and it's a separate aft cabin, which is a little bit of an issue really, but nothing too major. But yeah, I was just focusing on this woodwork because it's been really looked after. And here in the engine bay, so there is water in there just above this stainless steel tank, and you can see there's no engine, so that's obviously the main problem. But there's also a cockpit locker to go down into the engine bay, so there is water in there, but it's just rainwater, as you can see. And you can just see the steel around the edges of the bilges, and even though there's rainwater, there's hardly any rust. Certainly no crusty rust, just a little bit of kind of surface degradation, which you obviously get. But I was so surprised with this, because when you look at the pictures of the advertisement online, and then when you go and see the boat, it's never as good as you imagine. So that's the rubber strip on the engine bay, which has just been put on, and that's why there's rainwater in the bilge of the engine bay. So you can just see here, the edges was super clean. There was hardly any rust at all. Great winches. These are the chain plates, also in really good condition and no rust, and it's been painted and treated, and yeah, it's been kept under a tarp as well. And these skylights as well, all good. and super clean, fresh. You just can't believe that this boat is, 40 years old. And yeah, the deck hardware all super clean and working and free and really good. This was the only bit of rust that I could find, which is in a massive contrast to last week's boat. And obviously a little bit of green stuff there on the deck, but this it was just in such great condition. The chain plates, as you can see, no rust. Obviously it's been painted, but you can see just by the texture that it's not rusty. You've got your bowsprit there, the wood all super fresh, no rot, no rust, and yeah, everything super functional. From what I can see, the bowsprit really nicely done, and yeah, just such a solid boat on deck. Everything, there's a lot of work that needs to be done reassembling this boat. So you've got the rigging there on the deck, and then under there you have your windlass and and an anchor. But essentially what this boat is it just needs putting back together. It needs some money spent on the engine, finding a new engine. And another thing as well, this boat has been sandblasted or shot blasted, epoxy coated, painted recently, over the last couple of years. We just got a few pictures of the chain and some of the road and your windlass as well. So yeah, this one's listed for €27,500. I think that's about £24,000, but I reckon the price can be brought down a little bit. But yeah, you can tell by the pictures that I was taking that I was super impressed by this sort of woodwork. And for me, because I'm not too good at these kind of finer details, what I really enjoy is the functional aspects of the boat. And that's why this boat is super interesting for me and was such a massive surprise. I wasn't expecting the boat to be this good. Obviously there's no engine in the boat, which I'll show you the pictures of later. The reason why is because the engine had a problem. The water coming out of the exhaust got sucked back. There was a backflow and it flooded the engine, and it was left for a few weeks. But yeah, I mean, the only kind of little bits of rust here, they just need grinding back, epoxy coating and anti-fouling. Perhaps the anodes would need replacing, but the hull was, super flat. There was no contours where the rust had been stripped back. It honestly felt like a pretty new boat, yet it was built in the 80s. And yeah, for me, I love that hull shape, the long keel, and just built for heavy weather. It is a ketch, very heavy, and just like the last one. And it seems like all the boats that I'm drawn to, other than the Wirehams, are not really fair weather boats, all kind of heavy weather, but safe boats. So these are the wooden masts which have been refurbished, and they've had 8 layers of varnish over them, and they're being stored inside. So there's that those masts needs to be put on. The big problem with this boat is obviously there's not an engine, which I'll get to in a second, and the masts are not on. And to get this stuff onto the boat, you need a crane, really. And you need a crane or my dad, because he'll find a ways. And because the boat's so tightly packed in, that's the engine. Because the boat's so tightly packed in with the other boats, it's impossible to get a crane there. And the boats kind of empty out around the 31st of March in this marina. So this is the engine. It's a Timray, which I'd never heard of before, but apparently it's a German manufacturer of engines which are based on Perkins, but they use aftermarket parts for the ancillaries to make it into a fully marine engine. So you could see there this engine is really rusty, and it looks like it's beyond saving. I spoke to my dad about it. I'll get his thoughts soon after these pictures. And this engine was only I think 5 or 6 years old. And yeah, just by bad luck and not fitting the exhaust correctly, it backflowed. So I'll get to more details about that boat, which took me by surprise completely. Like, the condition of it is just so good, and the price can probably be got down as well. Obviously, to a lot of people, probably getting a bit frustrated, saying, oh, you're not going to buy a boat, just buy a boat. Well, let me tell you, it's really good to go meet the owners, meet the people, speak to them, understand it a little bit more, understand the situation, and then kind of see if the boat's going to sell or not, and not rush into it. Obviously, I've got a couple more, well, probably like 2 more weeks of the trip left. I'm actually going to head back towards the Netherlands. What I'm doing is, because it's absolutely freezing in this car and I forgot my hot water bottle, I'm doing a little bit of driving, warming the car up, a little bit of editing, maybe a little sleep or a nap, get some food or whatever, drive a little bit, heat the car up, and then sit in the car. There's a lot of these kind of like lay-bys here in Germany and Holland, so every like 4 or 5 kilometers there's a place for you to stop, which is really, really handy, and you know, nobody bothers you, you got loads of privacy. And yeah, you can see in the back, I've got my little, that's my little editing station there. So yeah, but like I said, I'm not going to rush into it, 'cause I don't think these boats are going to sell in any quick time. Such bad English. You know what I mean. So yeah, so I think, yeah, I'm going to bide my time, and then once this trip's done, I'll put in my offers or what I think, speak to the owners again, see how they're going on. But yeah, to everyone who's getting a bit frustrated, saying just buy a boat, da 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 da, it's just not how I'm gonna do it, sorry. Yeah, alright, okay, on to the next slip, on to the next anchorage. And also, Huske is close to the Netherlands, so I'm gonna go meet up with him. Huske was travelling with us in his little Trintella in Greece, in Italy and Greece.
I got some fish. It's different. Like, we got a big bream and some smaller breams and one middle-sized tiger bream.
We became really good friends, so it's going to be amazing to see him. So just met up with Huske, and we're going to go to Amsterdam together. So we're going to stay around the centre of Amsterdam, and we're going to go check out boats together, which is amazing. It's so nice to have some company. I do love doing this. I can be a bit of a lone wolf, but again, part of the reason why I want a bigger boat is so that I can travel with people, so I'm not on my own all the time. Huske is working here doing some tattoos, so I'll do my editing, he's doing his tattoos, then after we'll travel together. I got a hot water bottle, €8.99, and a bottle of beer. So in Germany you pay 25 cents more when you get a bottle with this icon logo. However, you get 25 cents back when you take them to the machines in the supermarkets. So that's really cool, I think. It gives you a real incentive to recycle, because 25 cents, 4 bottles, that's €1. Boiling my jet boil now, so I've got warm feet. Okay, so here's Dad. Engine man.
Yeah, Mark, I know. Yeah, it could probably be sorted. I mean, it'd have to be stripped down, put in a dunk tank, and all cleaned off. The worst case scenario, it depends what the bearing faces are like, but you just regrind the crank and the bearings. Look at I don't know what the bores are like. If it were flipped over. So the worst case scenario is like a rebore and pistons and regrind crank and new shells and everything. But yeah, it can be done. It does look a bit of a mess, I suppose, at the moment, just because of all the red rust. But you'd have to take all the bearing caps and strip it down. Then you'd know what you've got then. But I'm sure it'd have to be remachined, but you would be able to do it.
Nice one, Dad. He didn't know he was going to be recorded. So yeah, this video came a little bit faster than I usually do. I can't promise anything, because these are the only 2 boats that I've seen at the moment of recording this, but I'm hoping to get a few more videos, kind of quick fire, just to get them out there, because if I did it kind of every week, then it might take a while if I manage to see as many boats as I want to see. So I was thinking there was lots of boats in and around Amsterdam, but there's not too many that are getting me really excited. One or two. I mean, one really Warren, which is really exciting me. I'm not sure if I can film it though, so that's, you know, I'm going to go see that over the next couple of days. Just fingers crossed it's going to be everything that I hope it is going to be. But yeah, if I can get these videos out, get them to you while I have the time, then I will do. So like I said, hit the notification button and then you'll get notified. So yeah, tomorrow me and Hushka are off to Amsterdam. We're going to see one of these boats that I'm really interested in, and then hopefully you can get around and see a couple more. So also, if you see any more boats, let me know at theboatfella@gmail.com, around Amsterdam, around Holland, well, the Netherlands, Almere, Monnikendam, Hoorn. Yeah, just let me know, send me the email. And yeah, thanks very much. Obviously, as always, like and subscribe. Thank you so much to everyone who went to my PayPal and coffee. I've not put your names on this week's video because I've just quickly edited this video together, and I've not had many, maybe 2 or 3. So and by the time Friday comes around, I'll probably have a few more. So hopefully in the next video I'll get your names up. And if you appreciate these uploads, then of course you can support me in that way. It helps a lot, helps me with those beers and hot water bottles. So thank you very much to you guys who've already done that. Okay, see you in the next video. I really appreciate you watching. Bye bye.